Luminar just released a new version of Neo, this amazing photo editing software, raw editing software that doesn't require a subscription. That's right, you can just own it. It also gives you really sophisticated features like skin smoothing before, and this is after. The AI editing features that you might have seen other apps have, but this handles it locally. So your files don't have to be sent off to a cloud, so you don't have to worry about privacy or paying some monthly fee. They just released this new update that adds some really powerful portrait features. So I'm going to show you those, and you can see just what you can do on your own computer with software that you properly own. I've talked about Luminar Neo before, so you can watch the other videos if you want a general overview. For now, I'm just going to sort of talk about the portrait features and the new stuff. First, let's look at a picture I just shot this last weekend. You can see this is an actual raw file, 100 megapixel raw file, and it's letting me just zoom in and handle everything just really quickly. Let's go to the presets tab here, and we can see some of the amazing presets that they have. I can preview them by just hovering right over them. And they have just hundreds of different presets, and sometimes I just like to scroll through it for inspiration. I really like these experimental collections, which sort of add flaring and stuff, so you can see you can get really creative. And for this particular picture, I really like the Celebrate here and the Featherlight because they sort of draw the attention to the subject. Let's get into the actual edits. I'll switch back to the catalog here. We can look at some things that'll just save you so much time. And my whole goal with editing is really to get it done with as fast as possible so I can get back to shooting. Here on the edit tab, the light wasn't super flattering. I always take responsibility for this. If I had softer front lighting, it could have hidden some of the just natural pores and bumps on people's faces. These things happen to everybody. Luminar Neo makes it really easy with some of these new features. So you can see I can come down here and under the portrait tab, go to skin. And now I have a face smoothing feature and a blemish removal feature. And especially in the modern era, like 2026, people don't want to look over processed because then they look like it's AI. So I try to do as little as possible, but I never do nothing because everybody wants to look a little bit better. They just don't want to look like you did any post-processing. But that's why I'm being really careful about where I position these. If we look at the before and after here, you can see zooming in really tight, this is before and this is after. And Luminar Neo, with just a couple of sliders, removed all those blemishes that a couple of years ago I would have had to go in and individually remove. This also means I could do it to an entire set of photos and be done in just a couple of minutes. Anyway, just so you can see, I'm just going to turn off my Wi-Fi here. And now I can still go in and I can still make these adjustments. That's right, this is happening locally. You don't need an internet connection. These files are not going off to the cloud. The Skin AI tool also has a shine removal slider because everybody gets a little dewy. When it's a little hot outside, you might have a little bit of sweat. Maybe you have just little natural oils on the skin. Particularly when you're using a flash or studio lighting, this can be accentuated. And you can see if I just turn this on and off, it's a subtle change. But what it's done is almost added a little bit of powder to her face. This is especially useful when photographing men who tend not to wear any makeup, who tend not to wear any powder. We can get that much shinier. If you can fix it in post, you can make them look the way they should look. The body smoothing tool here is also really useful. So I'm going to scroll down and you can just see, I mean, we have pores on our body too, right? So if I slide this to the right, you can see it just sort of removes some of those, and while looking natural, maybe I went too hard there. You can decide exactly where you want it. You don't ever have to worry about it being too much, but a little bit almost always looks better than nothing. Let's take a look at a different picture. At first we can see this is a Sony RAW file. It's underexposed. It does all this sort of editing. I can go right under develop here and click auto adjust. There we have it. Now I'll just boost the shadows up where she is. Let's zoom in a little bit. And you can see before and after just how much it did so quickly. These development tools are really powerful. Like the camera profile slider here, I can select this and select a profile that's a little bit better. Like looking at her now, the skin tones are a little bit green. This is so definitely a Sony thing. Their skin tones just tend to be a little bit green, but it's really easy to correct that. Like if I go to camera neutral here, bam, right away you can see just how much more neutral and natural her skin tones are. So let's scroll down and go into the new Portrait AI tools, I'm going to go down to Bokeh AI. And this actually lets you change the shape of somebody's body. Not everybody wants this, but some clients will just definitely ask you, like, I want to look thinner on camera. I get some guys, some masculine people who actually want to appear a little bit bulkier, a little bit bigger, like they chugged a few more protein shakes, right? She definitely doesn't need any adjustments one way or another, nor did she ask for them, but I do want to demonstrate what you can do. Now here, she's very thin, but her dress itself, very bulky, right? And it makes her body look a little bit bigger that she doesn't have her arms separated, but this is the kind of thing I can adjust in post so it looks more natural to the eye. And you can see as I'm sliding this in, she actually looks incredibly natural. This changed the shape of her body in a way that absolutely could not be detected. Here's another picture. This one's taken with a Canon. Let's zoom in here. First, I'm going to go into the develop. We can do an auto adjust, and let's set this to camera portrait. You can kind of see the before and after. Portrait's just giving me more natural skin tones. Scroll down to the skin tool, and I'll do just a little smoothing of the face and some blemish removal. And right away, if we just look at the before and after, she looks so much better. She's going to be much happier with this. The face tab here is really interesting. Now, I can actually add some light to her face. If I felt like I didn't quite get the light there, you can see she's very fair skinned and the light is strong on her, so she doesn't necessarily need it. I can also slim her face some, just slightly changing the shape of her face. This is one of those tools where you really want to be subtle with it. I love these eye tools because they can really bring out the eyes. I can drag iris visibility up here, and if we zoom in, iris flare will add some underlighting to the eye as if you had one of those reflectors underneath her to help accentuate the iris. I no longer need to bring one of those tools because it's easy to do in post now. You can control the size of the eyes by making them a little bit bigger. You can whiten the eyes a little bit. You can enhance the eyes, which again brings out the iris even more. And again, if you go too far in this, it's going to look alien, but that's not the point. You're not cranking stuff up to 100. Usually I'm going to be at like 15, 20. Just subtle changes are going to be the most powerful. Dark circle removals, I always need this. I never get a full night's sleep. So let's just drag that to the right and we can clean that right up. Again, that's especially useful for men who aren't going to be wearing a foundation. We can do improve eyebrows here, which actually just darkens the eyebrows a little bit. Let me just back off here and show you the before and after, the changes we made already with just a couple of slides. Wow, what a big difference. We can also adjust the makeup on her lips. We can saturate her lips a little bit more, make them redder if we want to. We can darken them, and if the teeth are showing, you can whiten them. And again, looking at the before and after here, before, after, before, after. And again, if we wanted to, we could change the shape of her body. She doesn't need that, but it's cool that we have that option. Go back to the catalog and look at another picture. This is a Sony picture, so let's auto adjust it and then switch it over to a portrait profile. And right away we can see pretty big differences here. I'm going to use the smart contrast on this one just to add a little interest to it because it was a little bit flat. This is one of the times when you can use the face tool and add a little face light to her. You can see just before and after, like she actually really needed that extra light. This is cool. You can add bokeh. Now you don't have to go buy an 85 f1.2, or you can use a zoom instead of using a prime, and in post you can add the bokeh. There are some cool adjustments to it that really give you control over making something that looks completely natural. Now, this photo was taken outside. I was using a zoom at the time when the background is not super attractive. So let's scroll down here and go to Bokeh AI. And you can see it's making a focus distance map out of it. So you can kind of see it's decided what's near and what's far, and that's going to control how much bokeh it applies. So let's, just for the sake of example, crank this bokeh slider all the way to the right. You can see I'm just opening up the aperture in a way that looks really realistic to me. Like, notice these headlights in the background. As it's 0, that's where we are. That's the natural bokeh. And then I can just expand it a little bit, and everything just becomes a little bit blurrier in the background. That's creating more subject separation, but also simulating a more expensive lens. It's really nice to have in those times when you wish you'd opened up a little bit more. You wish you brought a prime instead of a zoom. You also have bokeh shape adjustments down here. So this is the default setting, but you can have sort of oval shapes. You can have hexagonal shapes as if you were shooting with the aperture shut down a little bit. These are just very cinematic choices. You can go for a heart shape, or you can do a star shape here. You can also do like what they call like a soap bubble effect, where it looks like a ring. Every single little piece of snow became its own little ring-shaped bokeh. One of the challenges I've seen with bokeh simulation software is how it handles flyaways. Usually it doesn't look that natural. You can see here the software has sort of by default removed all of the flyaways, and I think that looks pretty good. I mean, on Instagram, this would totally pass. But if you wanted to make this a little more perfect, it gives you the power to mask this. So I'm going to go to the masking tab here, and I'm going to select brush. And you can see there's an adjustment for softness here and for size. I want to be so subtle with this, so I'm going to bring the strength slider down so that I can just sort of brush it in. And I'm going to start with just the edges. I'm just feathering it. And we can see this if I do a couple of passes here. Now we start to see a few of the flyaways coming in. It still looks natural. I'm just going to brush this edge a little bit more. Let's go over here and do a little bit over here. Bring in some of those, and then I'll just go around the edges of her hat here. This is particularly powerful where the background is pretty simple, and because it's nice and feathered, the transitions really won't be noticeable. So you don't necessarily have to make any manual adjustments to it, but I like the fact that you can. You're not stuck with just using the default settings. Now we can see those flyaways are intact. There are no harsh edges, and yet zooming back, the bokeh looks really natural. As I zoom in on her face, I can see her face is actually pretty noisy. I had to shoot this in fairly dark environment outside because I wanted to balance the ambient light. So we have image quality adjustments here. Like I can easily use their Noiseless AI and improve the image quality, reducing the noise even further. So you can see before and after. And after with the Noiseless AI, the skin tones are much, much cleaner, and I could go even higher than that if I wanted to. I also have Enhance AI, which I love is just a really simple setting that makes everything just look sort of better. Like zooming back here, as I bring this up, it just sort of adds contrast. So I have that option to go as much or as little as possible. I like the atmosphere setting too. What we can do is add a little haze in the foreground to sort of create even more depth here. I could do mist and dial this up or down. So if I want to lean into the snowy environment, these are totally options for me. And there's so many just really easy to use adjustments where you don't have to read a book or spend years studying it like I did so many of the different apps. Like literally just a dramatic slider here where I can just increase the drama, and that is what I want. And a mood slider here where I can just choose one of these LUTs, and look at all these things I can just scroll through and pick the one that really matches my mood. I find this like so good for creative inspiration. Like I really like Los Angeles for this. And then I can dial it up or down. Like if I see something I like, I can just add a little bit to it. So you can just see the subtle difference that this made. Also really helped finish the picture, making the client happier with it while having me on the computer for only a few minutes. Check out the latest Luminar Neo update for free at this link below. Again, there's no subscription fees here. Everything runs locally on your computer. You're not training somebody else's AI. You're not giving up any privacy. You own the software, you control everything, but you still have the power of these local AI models to get your work done faster. You're not putting somebody out of jobs with this. What you're doing is you're getting yourself off the computer so you can spend more time shooting. So I think this is a great move. Thanks for sponsoring this video, Luminar. And in the comments down below, I'd love to hear how you use Luminar Neo. Bye.